Hi, I'm Jessica Graham Robinson of SacredSpaceHealingArts.com, and today I'm here to share with you some weekly wisdom, and today's topic is evolution, in particular, my own. I want to share with you one of my deepest seated beliefs. It's the earliest belief that I can remember having, and it is the idea, the belief, that anything is possible. And oftentimes we hear that said at opportune moments where it seems to fit, but the majority of people, I would say, don't really subscribe to that idea that anything is possible. If we did, we wouldn't get so caught up in our day-to-day life circumstances, thinking that we are imprisoned in a way. There was a time in my life, a large portion of my adult years, where I was caught up in that idea that my circumstances were my life. And in that time, I lost touch with that deep-seated belief that anything is possible. And I admit, I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers, but I am constantly studying and experimenting in my own life to find the answers. I've always been a truth seeker. I've always been looking for what feels right in my bones, in my heart. And I've discovered a lot of truths. And one of them is still that anything is possible. What I've learned is that what personality you're born with, what circumstances you're born into, don't really matter. That even if you've had to adopt ways of being that you don't like, you're not stuck that way. None of us are. There is something called evolution, and you can think of it in terms of just growth, just the natural course of life is one that we grow, hopefully. When we're born, we learn how to walk. We learn how to use language. We learn how to have relationships with one another. And if you've had a particularly abusive or traumatic childhood or background, then there's a good chance that you learned a lot of patterns of behavior and thinking and coping that served you at the time, but overall won't serve you. They won't serve your growth. And so one of the ways, in a very practical way, that I believe that anything is possible is that I know that you're not your coping mechanisms. You're not you're not even your daily habits. But because we are so, they're so ingrained, because if it's a habit, it's something that you don't even think about. So that these parts of ourselves, our personalities, the things that we normally do, they do define us to a certain degree. They define us to the degree that we allow them to. And so if we choose to not be defined by our past circumstances or by our current circumstances, we can choose to believe in ourselves, in that true self that is deeper than your relationships, it's deeper than your personality. And if we can believe in that, the source of you, if we can believe in that, then we can believe that something different is possible for ourselves. We can believe in the evolution, our own personal evolution. I grew up in a home that was probably not much different than any other average American home. I didn't starve. I didn't have an abusive childhood, so I didn't have those things against me. But what I did have against me was the culture, our current culture, that almost everyone buys into. And I'm not saying there's not some really cool things about our culture, about the way that we are as people here, and different things that go on in our country. Sure, they're cool, or in our world, but for truth seekers, it's pretty well known that whatever's going on in the overculture, or you could say pop culture or mainstream culture, does not represent the truth. It represents what's popular at the time. It represents the most popular beliefs that are held. when we look at everyone. And so the most popular beliefs are not the truthful ones, right? Like I said at the beginning of this video, most people don't believe that anything is possible. Most people believe that the circumstances they were born into, that the personalities they happen to have right now are holding them in whatever situation that they're in, and that it's not an option to change. How many times have you said or heard someone say, that's just the way it is, or that's just the way I am, or that's just the way he, she, it, they are? That's not true. It will be for them if that's what they want it to be, but it doesn't have to be true for anyone else. And so one of my missions, if you will, in life, I believe, is to bring the truth to everyday people, to bring the people that are looking for the truth, to bring it to them, to bridge that gap between what's going on in the mainstream that's really not serving us and the truth of the matter, which is very different from what is going on in the mainstream. So I'm here to tell you, if you have ever had the thought that anything is possible, or that maybe something is possible, I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. And that's the work that I do. I do that work with people one-on-one and in dynamic groups to help people realize their potential and to move past their current circumstances and to live the life that they really want to be living. Because anyone who told you that you can't is just wrong, because anything is possible. So like I was saying, I grew up in just an average household. I didn't have a lot of the beliefs that I have, or let's not say beliefs, but let's say that I wasn't aware of a lot of the truths that I'm aware of now. I wasn't aware of what true health was or how to get there. I wasn't aware of Ayurveda or yoga. I didn't grow up in that kind of a household. I grew up in one that was just average and not bad, but not where I am today. And so I have seen myself evolve. I'm not better than anyone. I'm not better than you. You are you. And that is amazing and something that no one else can ever be. So what I'm trying to inspire here in you is the belief and the motivation to want something better for yourself, to want to seek the truth instead of just being okay with whatever's there right now. Because just because it's always been, just because most people even say that it's true, does not mean that it's true whatsoever. And so if you believe that anything is possible, or if you want to see what might be possible for you, I encourage you to look within and to really hold on to that belief. And if you feel called to work with me, to sign up for a wellness strategy session, a wellness discovery session, and to discover what can be for you and how you might be able to get there, how you can get there if you want to. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. If you have any questions about anything, or if you have experiences with seeing that anything is possible in your life, I'd love to hear your success stories. And I'd love to help in any way that I can. So please comment below. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what subjects you'd like to hear about. And follow me on the website, sacredspacehealingarts.com. I have a blog that I'm posting on daily. You can sign up for my email list by going there. And also check out the YouTube channel. So I look forward to interacting with you and spreading the love. Namaste.